Hi there! Welcome back to the Rare Book Views channel, where I talk about how much I love books and reading, book collecting, libraries, bookstores, all the book things. And today is very exciting because I have finished the to be read shelf. I haven't actually finished all the books I have waiting to be read, but I have this system now where I set up one shelf on a literal shelf, and I sort in some nonfiction, some fiction, try to get a good balance of interesting things, and I just concentrate on that one shelf, which gives me license to buy as many books as I want to put on the back burner, because I'm just reading one book at a shelf at a time. And it does give me kind of a sense of accomplishment as I go through, so it's less daunting that I have kind of a lot of books waiting to be read. And this time, I had some really great books in this collection, and I'm happy to tell you about it. Sometimes I think about books as the ones that are good for me, or the vegetables, or what the big significant ones, or sort of the meat, the main course. So this first one was a little bit of an appetizer. It is vintage, very cool. It's about police informants from back in the day, and it, in some levels, is hilarious. It is short, it's a quick read. This is a fun one because it's inscribed by the author. Inscribed, not quite as good as signed. Signed would just be the author's name, and it would apply to me. I could pretend it was written to me. This is written to a real person, but it is by the author, and it's these two crazy cats, Malachi Harney and John Cross, who it sounds like worked in the Treasury Department. And they are sharing their thoughts about informants and how law enforcement should use them. It's a good idea. I agree. It was really good. It was a really fun read. I did get it at a book sale for $3, and I did check. You can get it on eBay, or it's widely available many places online, including Inscribed. These authors, I think they gave a lot signed copies. So you can get one if you want one for a very reasonable cost. I would say maybe $10 on eBay. I also read other nonfiction. The Spy and the Traitor by Ben MacIntyre. He's written really cool books, nonfiction, about sort of paramilitary. He wrote one about OSS. The name escapes me, but they did make multiple movie-type versions based on the book. So his nonfiction book sort of voice or storytelling style transfers really easily to film. So if that makes any sense, this is very easy to read, and I thought it was really cool. And I also read The Assault on Intelligence by Michael Hayden. He is he's a general, and he writes really interesting things about current events and government policy. So this was really good. This was much more main course. This was broccoli. This was a lot of good for you information. Well written. He's clearly very smart. It's very interesting. He gives a lot of really cool examples. So I thought that was really good. And then apparently, looking at the stack now, read a ton of fiction. This one was middle ground. This is kind of main course. This is based on true events. Fast Girls. I am a runner, and I'm a reader, and I like reading about running. And this one is about the Olympics and the women and some men who ran in the Olympics in various times, but really sort of how women's running got started and became mainstream, and what the Olympics are like. And it is a very fun, easy read. So it's nonfiction, but not. It's fictional retelling of events. So it's based on real events, but it is fiction. It was a pretty easy read and very fun. I read Artemis by Andy Weir. He wrote The Martian, which is amazing. And this is also very good. This is very adventure. It seems like he is sort of also writing for the screen. So very readable, very easy read, very fun. This is really cool. This was suggested to me by a friend. I do know how to play the violin, and so does she, and she's a reader. We both really love a good book about violins. The Moonlit Garden by Corina Bomann, I think, translated from German, and it kind of shows around the edges that some of the dialogue is a little wonky. Not really. It's a good translation, but you can kind of tell it's been translated. So I'm passing that on because if I didn't know that when I read it, I would have been confused. Really good. Agatha Christie. Okay, I am really enjoying Agatha Christie. I don't understand how I have not read Agatha Christie till now, but I am embracing it. So when I find a vintage copy, I try to pick it up. This one is Mrs. Marple's Last Case, which is kind of, why am I reading that first? But I did love it, and the premise is really cool. I don't want to give anything away. I paid $5 for this. The copyright page says 1976 third printing. So fun. This is not a book club edition. It's kind of easy to find an Agatha Christie book club here and there. This is a later 1970s. This is later for her, but I think it's kind of a treasure, and I'm probably going to I'll put a broad art cover on this to protect the dust jacket, and that'll spruce it up a little. I really enjoyed it. It was a very fun read. Also, on the mystery front, I read The Game by Laurie King. This series is really fun. This is the Mary Russell series. This is almost Sherlock Holmes fan fiction, and I mean that in a complimentary way. It's if Sherlock, instead of Dr. Watson, if his sort of companion investigator was a woman who becomes, I don't want to give anything away. These are really fun reads, and I love to pick them up. So when I find the next one in the series for $3, I definitely pick it up. Loved it. This is a really good one. For suspense, I read The Sanitorium by Sarah Pearse. This one, I think I paid about $3 for this, and it's been on my list a long time. She has a newer book. The name escapes me, but it also got really good reviews. So I was really excited to find this one. I hope I can find her next one. This was really good on the suspense front. I thought the premise was a little weird, that there's a hotel that used to be a sanatorium. It seems like a weird, gimmicky, like why would you theme a hotel even if it did used to be a sanatorium? It's a weird theme. Would not probably choose to stay there myself, but an interesting setting for a suspense book. So there's that. This was so good. It's been on my list for a long time. The reviews were extremely good. Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, A Novel of the Plague is the subtitle, and it is sort of based on true events, Shakespearean families, but it's just enthralling. I would say the way that she tells this really sucks you in. She started very thin information. She did not have a lot of information to go on, and she created just the most immersive reality. Wonderful. And I cannot wait to read more books by her. This is really cool. I can't tell you anything about this without giving it away, but I will say it is fascinating. This was on my list, and I can't remember why. So I read a review, or someone told me it's good, and I've been looking for a copy for a long time. This is actually a Book of the Month Club from a book sale. I believe this was a couple dollars, and it was an amazing read. This was really good, but I can't tell you anything because it's one of those, what's happening? What's going to happen next? And I can't say anything about the plot because it'll give anything away, but wonderful. If you like fiction, modern times, sort of mysterious, but not a mystery, a lot of interpersonal relationships, a lot of how are people going to solve this or figure this out. So captivating. The Underground Railroad by Colson, Whitehead. Got the National Book Award, very well regarded, amazing reviews. Been on my list for a long time. This is one of those that I thought I should read it. This feels like it's the vegetables, right? Like I'm supposed to read this. Wonderful. Fiction, dessert. This was just super enjoyable. Things that we know happened, but told in such a vivid way that you kind of have to look past events in the eye and really think about the history of our country and things that happen to people. It is fiction, and there is sort of a, again, I don't want to give too much away, but there is sort of a fantastical quality to it. What if things had happened this way? But definitely he is basing a lot of the narrative on things that really happen to people. And it is, yeah, you gotta look it in the eye, and it is just enthralling. So this is something I thought was going to be good for me and was just super enjoyable. I recommend it highly. And this is another based on true events. This is a mystery, Murder in Old Bombay by Nev March. This was super cool. This is based on true events in India. And that was really weird because I read it, I think, right before The Game by Laurie King, which I think was in Pakistan. And this one, based on true events. This is sort of a real mystery that happened. The author read about it and it happened in the past, and she's sort of also reimagining what may have happened. But it is intriguing. It is very well researched. It is, the characters and the setting are incredibly well told, and a level of realism that's amazing. This was a longer book. This one was just about 400 pages and seemed a little bit more. So even though this is fiction, and usually I would think of this is dessert, this is the easy, fun stuff, it had a little bit more history, a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more awareness. So this was slightly more meaty than I thought it was going to be. And that was the shelf. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 books. And I enjoyed all of them, not a clunker in the bunch. They were all really great. Most of these were bargains. Some of these I know who I'm going to pass them on to because I want to hear what other people think of them. And I cannot wait. This means I get to pick out a whole new shelf of books and get started. So I hope that you're enjoying this. I don't know why people are interested in what I'm reading, but if you are, please let me know. Please tell me what you're reading. I always love to hear suggestions. If you read something good, if you have something on your to-be-read shelf that should be on mine, please tell me. I love hunting down a good treasure of a book. And I really appreciate everybody who has been watching these videos. I started making them because a friend suggested it, and I know that my nieces get to see them, but that other people are watching them and really pay me nice compliments. It makes my day. It makes me think that people are probably good, or at least readers are. So if you enjoyed this, please subscribe or drop me a line. Let me know the kinds of videos that you like and what you're reading, and thanks for watching.